Hey creepers, and welcome to Ashe Plays Darkest Dungeon. So this is the game I have been super into lately, so I figured I'd do a quick one-shot. Also, two people actually messaged me and asked if I could look into it, because I did through media mention that I was playing it, so I was like, F it, let's do it. So because I'm doing such a limited play of this, I figured I would get past the tutorial, get past the intro, which is absolutely gorgeous, by the way. I really like this visual art. And I would just kind of give you a quick description of like kind of what's going on in town, and then just show you kind of what a initial dungeon's like. So as you can see, there's a couple areas. I got my two guys over here. They keep talking. Most of this stuff will be locked until I move in through a couple quests, so you probably won't see them. So first things first, couple areas. Graveyard. When people die, you can see how they die. It's pretty standard graveyard stuff, you know. Dead people in there. And there will be people in the graveyard. This game is actually pretty difficult. You have with your peeps, you have a couple of things. First, there are like 10 different classes, which I adore because they're all very different, very unique, and have flavors to them. As you can see, we got quirks here. For instance, what is his name? Ronald is one of his good quirks is when the light is above 75, he gets 10% damage. We'll talk about light later. But everybody also has kind of poopy quirks that are present. For instance, he's a kleptomaniac, so he's prone to stealing. Notice how they don't really tell you how some of these work. You kind of have to trial and error it. For instance, kleptomaniac is when we find loots in the dungeon, he will beeline to it, steal it, and I won't get it. He'll just say, "This is mine," and meh. God-fearing will play into stress, which I'll get into later. Again, a couple more. Quick reflexes, his speed is 2. Standard initiative stuff. Stun resist, which is very helpful. And if his health drops below 50%, he gets bonus to crit. But he's a known cheat, so again, he's not allowed to gamble in town, which is another kind of stress-reducing thing. As you can see down here is base stats. You have HP, you have dodge, protect percentage, of course, accuracy, your crit percentage, your damage, and your speed. You got your weapons and your armors. You got your abilities up here, which this is what I kind of think is kind of cool for like a dungeon crawly kind of game. You have abilities, and each ability, as you can see, once I highlight, there's certain rows, which again we'll get into. Certain abilities can only be used in a certain area. For instance, he must be in the second, third, or fourth position, and he can use pistol shot in the second, third, or fourth position on the opposite side. Posing from, say, open vein, where he must be in position 1, 2, or 3, and he can hit people who are 1, 2, or 3, or 1 and 2. Also, you got stuff like grape shot blast. If you notice that he can only use in the 2 main positions, but if you notice on the red dots are all linked together, that means he will target and attack all 3 of them with the ability. So there you go, kind of a rundown on how abilities work. Some, target can bleed, nothing too fancy here other than base accuracy, a little less damage, but the crit modifier is pretty high. Take aim, its ability to use on self in any position, gives them bonus to accuracy and crit damage. Camping, which you won't see, but these are special abilities that if the dungeon is extended, you'll see short. I believe the dungeons are short, medium, and long. You will get campfires that you can bring with you to kind of rest and get, for your guys, and you can use. You have a certain amount of rest points that you could use these for. So that's your little character one-on-one. In the town itself. Nomad wagon, you can pretty much that gives you trinkets, which is next to the weapons armor. You see 2 little trinket slots. Some of them are really good, but most of them, honestly, in my opinion, are kind of poopy. Blacksmith, pretty standard like D&D dungeon crawly stuff. As you level, you can increase your gear, and this is where you do it. Guild is where you increase your abilities once you get certain levels. Sanitarium, as we were discussing, they're negative quirks. You can use this to get rid of them. It's kind of expensive. Tavern and Abbey are places that you can either, for instance, at the tavern, you can gamble, drink, or go to the brothel and get up on a hoe, and it will reduce your stress. Abby, same exact thing. You can pray, meditate, or pretty much flog yourself to reduce stress as well. Certain people, for instance, like we were seeing Dismas, he cannot use the gamble function in the tavern to reduce stress. He has to do it through other means. Versus my Crusader here, where he can only use pray. Over here, Survivalist, I was talking about those camping abilities. This is where you can get more camping abilities. You can only have, I believe, 4 at any given time, but if you don't like the set with a certain character, you can buy some and change them up. One place we can go is the Stagecoach. So,
Women
skip over
and
that.
men, soldiers and outlaws.
As you see,
fools
I have
and
2 people
corpses.
here that I can immediately
All will
recruit,
find their
which
way
I'm
to
going
us
to.
now that the road is clear.
Below here, you can see I have money, and I have busts. Yeah, I do. Portraits, deeds, and crests. These will allow me to increase all those little buildings I was talking about. For instance, Stagecoach Network, I can increase the number of available heroes to 3. So after every dungeon, instead of just 2 people being here, there'll be 3. Or I can increase my barrack size, which right now I currently have 4 to 9. I can turn it into 4 out of 11 if I really wanted to. But I'm going to bypass that because we're not going to need it. Because this, I specifically started over so you guys could so I could just rattle off some stuff on you really quick and then kind of just jump into the first dungeon, because currently there's so much more stuff that goes on. This game starts evolving pretty quickly. Of course, up here, you got your little crest. To my knowledge, you can't change that. And then whatever the name of your campaign is, it will state that as your estate in this area. I've never noticed that, actually, that it goes kind of night and day at times while you're just chilling out here. I heart this game so much. Yeah, for instance, the name of this campaign is Share, Like, and Subscribe. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink. This is your trinket inventory. If you get trinkets that you don't want to immediately equip while you're in the dungeon, there you go. And this little scroll kind of shows you what you're up to and what your quest goals are. For instance, roster goals. Here are the multiple classes. You got your Leper, which is like a tanky guy, a Crusader, which is just a different style of tank, Bounty Hunter, Highwaymen, which are like general DPS area effect and middle positioning men, Jester, it's your bard. It augments your characters. I actually really like Jester a lot. Vestal is a fancy way for cleric, your token healer. Helion is a front rank kind of barbarian-esque person. Occultist is your kind of your status changey elementy person. Plague Doctor is again kind of a status effect. They affect the statuses, both obviously characters in different ways, for and against, for your guys and against enemies. And Grave Robber is kind of a middle to back individual that again is kind of your DPS. So yay, there you go. But as I've rattled off and become long-winded in this, let's go ahead and jump into the dungeon. I got my 4 peeps. Let's embark. So as you can see, only the ruins is involved, and I got one quest because we're starting. So let's go ahead and select my guys. I've run with this crew quite a bit in my other game. So as you can see, preferred position for the Crusader is in the first 2 ranks, and he can kind of mess up the people in the other 2. Same thing, put him in position 1 or 2 or 3 here. I put him obviously in 2, and he can kind of go everywhere a little bit. Same thing, he's really good in position 3, but can slip into 4 if I need to, and at least he can do something in 1 and 2. And finally, again, position 3 and 4 are really good for my Vestal here, but at least have some abilities and can kind of go all over the place as well with abilities. So, yay! Alright, before you go in the dungeon, you select, of course, and then you go into provision. This is the gear you're bringing with you. Yep. I'm talking about that. I don't need the tutorial screen. So, you need your basic stuff. The first things first is light is super important, so I always heavily stock up, not that much, on torches. As well as this dungeon was short, so I'm just going to bring a little bit of food. The rest of these also have ability shovels, kind of important. Anti-venom will cure certain status effects as well as bandages. Medicinal herbs, skeleton key, and holy water. When we come across certain things, it'll ask if I want to use an item on it. these abilities, which we're going to go with just the skeleton key, make it so instead of like crappy things happening, good stuff happen at times. Or at least increases the chances of. So this is my set, and this will do good. So let's embark into the dungeon. All right. Here we go. So here's the dungeon. While you're in a dungeon, you have a goal that you must complete in order to gain a certain benefit, which is usually money and a little bit of those items that will help in, upgrade. In this place, we need to complete 100% room battles. So in these rooms, there are some monsters, and we need to take them out. That's all we got to do, and we can complete. You can see I have Radiant Light. This is the strength of my torch. While it's at 75 to 100, I do not suffer from, I may say sanity, but in this game they call it stress. I don't know, maybe Call of Cthulhu genre has a niche on sanity, but it's pretty much the same thing. As it starts dipping down, my scouting and chances to surprise monsters starts decreasing, and the susceptibility to stress just by walking around increase. So, in order to move around, we're currently, here's our little torch down here, that's us. We can move to an adjacent room, which we will do. And we'll walk. We're walking. We're walking. If you look up here as I'm walking, my torchlight's going down a little bit as I progress. Oh, and we have something we could see. Content. Oh, we found some money. And depending on who you highlight is who searches. Oh, trap. Didn't even see it. So, oh shit, that hurt. Blow black 19, as you can see, my stress increased a little bit. 76, which is just okay. So if a monster's in here, I'm still in highest light. Okay. And we're in our first fight. Bam! Surprise! Right off the get-go. Nice and smooth. Okay, so we got a Bone Defender, which is 0 dodge, 0 speed, unholy. You can see his multiple resists. So, Cultist Brawler, Human, same thing. Cultist Acolyte, which is different, and a Bone Arbalist, Unholy. So a bunch of Unholy and Human. Sweet. Not a problem. And honestly, for this much detail, I'm only going to kind of do in the first battle. We'll move along pretty quickly after this. Couple of other things. I know I've seen these guys a dozen times already. This is kind of their tank. This is their kind of DPS and bleeder. Oh, I don't like her. She will fuck around with your torch. A lot of her abilities actually reduce torch, and a lot of her abilities also increase your stress. And he's just kind of a ranged DPS. So we start with the Plague Doctor. They can all be blighted, but as you can see, so I can. These are the two abilities I'm going to debate on right now. As you can see, I can hit either the first or second person in the rank. I can hit the first or second person and either cause bleed or blight effects. But these abilities allow me to hit the two people in the back. I don't really need to stun at this point. They're already surprised. I already got a free round on them. So let's try to blight them. And attack! All right. And oh, you resisted, and that's who I want to get. So same thing. I can hit the person in the first or second rank, one of the anyone but the first rank. I can increase my accuracy and crit, but I think I'm just gonna go straight for the Great Shot Blast and try to bring these guys down. All right, same thing here. He does have an ability that lets me hit the first two people, but I have Smite as well, which allows me to get bonus damage on Unholy, and this guy needs to go whiff and swing and a miss. You know what? No, I'm gonna attack. Because she can hit everybody, as you can see also down here. And I'm gonna try to burn her down a little bit, because she really messes up my bacon. And we don't want that. No, sure.
Press disadvantage.
Yes.
Give them no quarter.
Thank you. I love the narrator for this as well. Well, since there's only one person in the back, let's go ahead and start putting pressure in the front. I do not like that brawler either. Bleed effects suck. Well, any effect on your guys. Oh, okay. Whap. He whops me good. I think I'm just gonna keep. Yeah, there we go. All right. Okay. As you can see, that ability also pushed him to the front. We get rid of you now.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Just like the white numbers, like the black. White means your stress is getting reduced, while black increases. Oh, that's a little stun symbol. All right, let's, oh god, I can only use the bleed effect right here. Let's actually use this little move to swoosh back, since I've pretty much nuked this guy.
As the fiend falls,
All right.
a faint hope blossoms.
Just FYI also, if I try to use more blight effects on him, the blight effects do stack. So if he doesn't resist this, yeah, now he's gonna start taking 6 damage instead of the 3 he was taking. Bam, macaroni. Let's just try to burn him down. Yep, there we go. And that's our first thing. So, like I said,
yourself that
one I kind of,
is a slow
I
and
kind of
insidious
overly
killer.
explained a lot of stuff just so if you guys want to pick up this game, which again I do strongly recommend this game, you kind of already have, you know, kind of have your bearings underneath you. Let's see, pack contains loot. Oh, torches. I do love torches. I don't. Okay. And we'll walk. Oh, and surprised by 2 guys. Now again, the quest stated very clearly that the room clear. Let's use that. Damn. So hoping for a crit. You know what? We will use the AoE on these guys, even though Smite does more damage. It says 100% room battles, so as long as I clear what's in the rooms,
trifling victory.
I don't have to go any further if I don't want to.
Victory nonetheless.
You look. Yeah, you look. Oh, foul vapors. Oh. Those vapors were foul. I think normally it tells you if you take a little damage, so nothing may have happened. This room, there's a whole lot of nothing. So let's continue on. Oh, damn it. Right on cue. I really try to keep
Mortality clarified in a single strike.
Yeah, I love the shit the narrator says. Shit like mortality clarified in a single strike really just puts the emphasis on, you just got done hurt, son. Let's just blight people up. Or one person, that works too. Oh, okay. You're gonna start doing your heal thing. Let's see. You can do 3 to 7 damage and no. Let's, damn it! Bump in the night. Damn, that's 2 crits in a row. Yeah, no shit, son. Yeah, you notice when they crit on me, it also adds to my stress. So, blah! There we go. Bump in the night again. Dodge, swing and miss. Sweet. It was a graveyard slash. Oh, damn it. That's the 3rd crit. That is no good. Let's, okay, so you're done. No, god damn it, you resisted it. Ah. And now I'm starting to get pommeled a little bit. This game can turn on you really quick. Let's see. I may be able to take both. Oh yeah, there's the crit. Strike. Which also gets suddenly wear a little stress relief.
Well struck.
Yep, I know. Yeah, let's just yeah, sweet.
These nightmarish
so
creatures
while
can
I've been
be felled,
stressing
be
about stress, oh, let's see. Whoop. The cabin is locked. If I try to open it without the key, I'll just get a spring a trap, and I get no loots. But since I can have the key, whoops. Yep, we got treasure. So I'll sell some onyx. So hey, that's a pretty good amount of gold, especially for first dungeon run. And this is why I bring a shovel.
Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage.
I know, right? If I didn't have a shovel, my torchlight drastically goes down, my stress goes up, all sorts of bad happens when you get impeded with rubble. Or I just use shovel. Oh, life is good. And we'll go into the next room. Bam. Okay, lots of undead. Oh, and we surprised them. Sweet. All right. So let's go ahead and just do some area of effect damage. Let's try to blight you guys. Sweet. I'm actually gonna take this time to start healing my peeps up. Yeah, and then you just thwap on him for a little bit. And now round 2 starts. Now everyone's gonna start messing her. Everybody's gonna be attacking everybody. Yes.
The bigger the beast.
That's why I like
That's
why I like status effects. You know what? You got kind of messed up. Let's see. Yeah, y'all pretty much have the same hit points, so let's just keep Doing a little heals to keep everyone nice and healthy. We want to keep the health up. Oh God, another 19 stress. So I was about to say a little while back that stress is super important. Your stress is from 0 to 100, and when it hits 100, one of two things will happen. Heal you. What happens 99.9% of the time
size alone does not dissuade the sharpened
is that
blade.
you get a status effect that is usually something like fearful, hopeless, or something like that, and your character pretty much becomes a giant pain in the ass. They don't always respond with what you want them
As
to do.
victories mount,
Like, for instance,
so
fearful.
too will
If
resistance.
my Crusader was fearful, sometimes he'll start scooting into the back of the ranks, and if you haven't noticed with a lot of these abilities, your positioning is super important. Notice how it doesn't say it's locked, so it should be okay. Yep. Ooh, Moonring. Light below. You know what? I keep my light above all the time, so I'm just... You don't sell these either, or if anyone who has played this knows how to sell them, tell me, so I usually just... If I know I'm not going to use them, I just ditch them. Yeah, Sandy sucks. Periodically, it will give you a buff, but like I said, it's like 1% of the time. No. Let's just walk past that. I don't have... That's gonna screw with me. Like that trap just did.
Ancient
Sweet.
traps lie in wait, unsprung and
Sweet.
thirsting
More
for
heirlooms.
blood.
Oh God, I was not paying attention to my torch. I was just rattling on. I was just jibber-jabbering onto you guys. And I always get a little jump scary over like walking into rooms. Like, I don't know why, because you kind of are half expecting something to be there, but I don't know. This game, like, legitimately stresses me out, because my Plague Doctor is about ready to lose his shit, and he just doesn't become helpful. Yeah, we'll give it a shot. Oh, you know what? We're going to use the Plague Doctor, because sometimes this reduces stress. No holy water, so let's just... Yes! Oh, God, a quirk removed. So he was nocturnal, and now he's just clumsy. Faded. Chance to turn a miss and a hit. That's cool. All right. I didn't really check out what these guys. Scouting in the Dungeon Knows Willed. We're in the ruins. Bloodthirsty. I fascinated with injury, wounds, and torture. I have no idea what that is. Weak grip of life. Death blow. We'll get into death blow. Trust me. Okay, next. Okay. I bet you money, too. Oh, surprise. Sweet baby Jesus, thank you. Let's try to burn him down. God, my guys aren't looking good. Trying to keep yourself up fully healed once shit gets real is super hard in this game. Damn it! I really, really needed you to fucking
Executed
be
with
blighted so you won't
impunity.
attack me next round. Because you're a fast little bugger too. Speed 7, 5, and 2. Okay, that's not terrible. God, another crit? Seriously? Well, at least the guy I'm really worried about stress isn't an issue right now. Let's go ahead and blight you. Or not. Oh God. I think... Oh! Now we're on
And
Death's
now
Door.
the true
Pop
test.
up tutorial. I'm gonna
Hold
explain to
fast
them anyways. Just
or
chill
expire.
out, game. So this game is at least a little forgiving in the fact that they know that shit could get real bad for you real fast. So when you drop to 0 health, you're actually just on Death's Door. Every subsequent hit thereafter has a chance of killing you, but as long as you're not on Death's Door, like that, ta-da, you won't die. We'll hit you. So that's, and he's about in 5 more sandy points or stress. See, told you. He's gonna lose his shit. So let's make sure you're a little healed up. So you course attack the other guy I didn't heal. But boom. Boom, dead. Boom. Boom, dead.
This expedition at least promises
sweet.
success.
Oh. So what that's telling me... slightly ajar. Go for it. Yeah, hidden treasures. What that's telling me is that in this last room, there's no monsters there. Because we needed 100% clear. But there could be treasure down the road and some treasure in there. Let's go ahead and continue. Just let's see if we can max him out and show you kind of what stress looks like. when you finally get maxed out. I believe that also increases the probability of... Oh, and we eat because we're hungry. Yep, disarm trap. So I see the trap this time. Each person does have a certain level
Ambushed by foul invention.
of like chance of doing good. 81, that's all I needed. Okay, so no monsters. Yep, there we go. So we will complete. The Highwayman's pretty good, but I have a lot of success with the Grave Robber for a chest
All by
opening.
We reclaim what is ours.
Yeah, so that was the dungeon. As you can see, this is kind of the loot. We finished the quest in there. We didn't have to leave early, so this was our reward. This is the stuff we found monetarily in there. So we walked away with 8 grand, which is pretty good for a low-level dungeon. Lots of crests, lots of good collected heirlooms. So at the end, they call it resolved. This is pretty much your level. We started at 0. Now all of us are level 1. And certain things will happen to characters at the end of everything. So she is a known cheat now. So she can't gamble in town, but I feel weird sending my, like, they call them vessels, but they're clerics, come on. I feel weird sending them there, so I always send them to the church to reduce. -3 crit on melee, so we need to get rid of that if that, once the sanitarium opens. But he has bones to resist when stress happens. He has bones to deal better with
My
it.
obsession
Sweet.
caused this great foulness.
That was week 1. We're in week 2, and that's where it is. Since we finished our first quest, I'll show you this real quick. So, yep, stress relief.
The cobwebs
So,
have been dusted. The pews
this
set
bugger,
straight. The
and I'm
abbey
pretty sure,
calls to the
and I'm guessing a
faithful.
little bit, to be honest, but each one of these, this is, like, for instance, for the church, the tavern's pretty much the same thing, just with different fancier names, or less fancy names, I guess, because it's a tavern and seedy. But either way, I digress. Cloister is cheaper than the transept, and the transept is about middle cost between the penance hall and the cloister. I also assume, heavy emphasis on assume, because I never bothered looking anytime I reduce stress. The higher it is up, the more stress you reduce as well. So let's see, 1500. I will gladly take that because he's almost ready to max out. Every week refills that. Ooh, Grave Robber, which I do like, but let's see. Slow draw, first round, slow speed. I don't care about that. Move resist, that's nice. Nice string of abilities. I'm pretty familiar with those. Those are actually my favorite abilities on a Grave Robber. Those aren't too shabby either. First round, -15 damage. And -3 crit. She's kind of a crit monkey. So we'll go ahead and yank you.
To those with a keen
And call it
eye,
good there.
gold gleams
And that's
like a dagger's
but
point.
yeah, that's Darkest Dungeon. Again, I'm super into this game right now.
Fresh kegs,
I strongly
cards,
recommend it.
and
You know what?
curtained
I like
rooms
this game enough, and
promise
I'm
solace
not
to
done
the
not
weary
showing you
and
stuff.
broken
So
alike.
I'm gonna do one more. So see you in a couple days, and we'll do one more dungeon for Darkest Dungeon. Dungeon. See you guys then.